Our topic is, should Texas have another lockdown to combat the coronavirus? Coronavirus timeline. March 13th, 2020, Governor Greg Abbott declares statewide emergency and says that the state will soon be able to test thousands. Texas is taking additional measures to protect citizens. At this moment, I'm declaring a state disaster for all counties in the state of Texas, says Governor Abbott. Also, fun fact, today marks the first case of coronavirus being found in China. March 19th, 2020, Governor Greg Abbott orders Texans to avoid groups of 10, closes bars, gyms, and restaurants to dine in. Working together, we must defeat COVID-19 with the only tool that we have available to us. We must strangle its expansion by reducing the ways that we are currently transmitting it. We are doing this now, today, so that we can get back to business as usual more quickly, says Governor Abbott.
Okay, so on April 3rd of the year, the Governor Abbott isn't calling a stay-at-home order, but he is advising all of Texans to stay at home. Until April 16th of this year also, he keeps the school closed, but he starts to reopen the state parks. He allows retails on the go, and he loosens medical restrictions. So basically, as he put it, it's a step-by-step so that we can open Texas again. So he also said April 27th that he would allow restaurants and movie theaters and malls to open up. So basically, the majority of the public places are opening up, but only to a limited capacity. So. And on May 7th, Abbott announces that new funding will be provided. So basically the COVID Relief Act for like helping families who are struggling, losing jobs, and basically helping them. So in his words, it's like to help support those in need. And he says that June 3rd, phase of reopening Texas allows all business to reopen at 50% beginning Wednesday. And June 23rd, the governor recommends that Texas stay home as a coronavirus case surge.
Okay, and then on June 26th of 2020, Governor Greg Abbott orders Texas bars to close again and restaurants to reduce to half occupancy as the virus spreads. Then on June 29th, Texas city and county leaders asked Greg Abbott for authority to implement the local stay-at-home orders. And then since June, schools have been allowed to reopen with regulatory measures. Bars and restaurants have also been allowed to open, and even hair salons are open right now. And then when it comes to healthcare, hospitals, some are allowing visitors and the patients and some aren't. And then a mask order has been in effect since summer, although some people don't enforce that. And then coronavirus cases are still climbing. So should Texas pursue another lockdown in order to combat the coronavirus?
All right. So Texas should pursue another lockdown because coronavirus cases are surging throughout the state of Texas. And as of today, Texas has 1,027,889 coronavirus cases. However, there are perks if Texas were to pursue a statewide lockdown. Perks include a decrease in coronavirus cases. Businesses would be locked down, but would receive funding from the state and national government to bail them out. And as a result, Texas would be preserving the health and safety of others in order to flatten the curve and stop the coronavirus. As you can see on this next slide, on the maps, most counties are affected by the virus, with the exception of about 3 because they're not colored in. And that's a fairly recent map. And then the other one marks when the curve started like going up in Texas, and it's still like increasingly going up.
And so now I'll be getting into why Texas should not be pursuing a lockdown. Texas shouldn't pursue a lockdown since divorce and abuse and assault rates have gone up. In order to preserve the economy, keep unemployment low, and keep the financial stability that we've created after the pandemic. Divorce rates have spiked greatly during the pandemic with people being locked in their homes. It went up 34% higher from March than to June. And it shows that 31% of the couples admitted that lockdown has caused irreparable damage to their relationships. And then further research shows that 35% of people experienced mental distress due to the COVID-19 outbreak and being in lockdown. Additionally, if we shut down schools, students will be put behind in course materials that they should have learned a grade or two below. It's also a safe haven for some children. If they're in an abusive home, the only place that they can go and get food is their schools. It's also been scientifically proven that humans need social interactions in order to live a normal lifestyle. And if we were in a lockdown, that just wouldn't be able to happen, and people would develop mental illnesses or just wouldn't be able to do anything that they normally would do. And then lastly, Texas lacks the broadband internet that would allow for everyone to be on Zoom doing work, going to school, all that stuff.
Okay, so should the cases as the cases are going to rise, what do you think? Like, what do we think the government should do about it? Well, as a group, we believe that the government shouldn't go into a lockdown because, I mean, it's going to hurt the economy, mental health, and like the divorce rates and all that stuff's going to rise more. Youth rates going to like rise, and it's just not good for. It's especially not good for the students because, I mean, it's affecting us right now because, I mean, we're students, and it makes having like online classes makes everything harder. So yeah, and also like we said in our past presentation, there's not great broadband internet across the entire state of Texas. So yeah, and that's about it. And then there's the word cited. Thank you.